Hi, and welcome to News in Depth. I'm Adam Lowenstein. Thanks for tuning in. On today's show, we'll hear from our education team about the student body, or lack thereof, at Palm Bay's charter school as it goes through its first year of offering high school classes. You'll learn why Mark Twain's famous description of golf being a good walk spoiled may be in jeopardy at Melbourne's 2 municipal golf courses, which are preparing to implement winter rules that prohibit walking on weekdays for most of the morning. And because we were required to include a clumsy golf analogy at this point, here it is. The no walking plan is a triple bogey in the eyes of many patrons. We'll take a look, if we can move fast enough, at those speedy little lizards that dart back and forth across our sidewalks and climb on our screens. Many of them are uninvited guests, ecologically speaking, that could ultimately harm our food web. And you know from living in Florida that an icy treat on a hot day just can't be beat. The same holds true, even more so, for the military men and women serving in Iraq. So something called Pastor Pepper's Popsicle Patrol has been a big hit. We'll explain. And it's hard to find any sector of business that hasn't struggled in this economy, and daycare centers certainly aren't immune. 17 standalone and in-home centers have closed over the last 18 months, and those that remain are changing the way they do business. But leading off today, a frightening story about the rising and even deadly impact of prescription medication and how pharmacists and the state are trying to fight it. In July, Florida became the 39th state to adopt prescription drug monitoring laws, and next year pharmacists can start using an online system to detect prescription fraud and doctor shopping. But in the meantime, prescription drug seizures continue to escalate in Brevard. Here's our report.
This is our new high security bank safe, if you will, in which we store all of the narcotics. It weighs close to 3,500 pounds, so it's very difficult. And as you can see, it's 3/4 inch metal. It was built for a bank, but we've taken it and converted it for storage of narcotics. We've had, within the last 2 years, 2 robberies of prescription narcotic medications, and we've instituted several increased security role with new video surveillance cameras. We also have stopped stocking certain products that are targets for prescription drug abusers. We have a system where our regular clients will call us prior to needing the product. We don't keep it on site. We just order it in when they need their prescriptions, fill it, and then we don't have inventory on site.
In the last 5 years since I've been in the Special Investigations Unit, the misuse and addiction of illegal prescription medications, pain medications, such has drastically increased to the point where probably about 2/3 of our investigations are prescription related, where either people are getting them through fraudulent means and or selling them on the black market for high profit. These are OxyContin 40 milligram tablets. These are one of the ones that are predominantly abused. Another one of the big ones, the ingredient is oxycodone. That's Schedule II controlled substance for pain. It's one of the stronger controlled substances, and this is the one that's predominantly abused now today, because you're able to snort it, break it down, snort it, as well as injecting it intravenously.
The state has passed a bill to create a database, statewide database, where all prescription drugs for narcotics will be electronically put into a centralized system where they can be monitored. They're still in the process of creating the details of the system, but it has been implemented in other states, and it has been very successful in reducing patients moving from multiple physician to physician and obtaining narcotics, which is a felony in the state of Florida. There are numerous patients who need prescription medications, specifically narcotics, and the difficulty is that small percentage that seek to abuse them in one way or another. So the difficulty has been trying to differentiate between the patients that have a true need and those that are actually drug seeking. So that's a real challenge, and I think the centralized database will help with that, because most of these patients that are seeking will go to multiple physicians. And a patient who's truly in a pain management program, who goes to a single physician, signs a contract that they will not see another physician, and is often tested to make sure they are taking the medication and not selling it, is going to help as well.
What we're seeing being sold on the black market is from teenagers to mid-60s and 70s. I mean, we're seeing people selling their medications for profit.
If you think the more pressing issue is with illegal drugs, think again. In 2007, Florida reported 989 deaths from illegal drugs. Prescription drugs killed 2,328 people that year. Now to Palm Bay, where that city's municipal charter high school opened this year with just 16 students enrolled. That was about a third of the students school officials had hoped to attract. But as the only charter high school in the county, the school could be home to as many as 100 students next year.
What term is synonymous with a chief minister? Chief minister. Just did it. D-A-C.
Doesn't even have it here.
We had a reword that.
Can you pronounce it? Vizier. Vizier.
We're here at Palm Bay Community Charter School talking about our new high school class. This year, we started a 9th grade class, and we are hoping to expand 1 grade each year until we have 12th grade. We will be servicing in this school K through 12, and our 9th grade this year only has 15 students. This is very unique because as a small school, we are able to individualize instruction and custom tailor the academic exposure that students have. This year we have already collaborated with Odyssey Charter School, which is a nearby successful charter school that services K through 8. We are anticipating that they will articulate their 8th grade students to us, and with our 8th grade students, we're hoping to have at least 100 students entering the 9th grade next year. I will also reach out to Palm Bay Academy, which is another K-8 school nearby in Palm Bay, and hopefully together we can be the choice school for South Brevard in the high school setting.
I've been here since 6th grade. I like that it's small and less kids than the years before because we get more one-on-one time with the teachers, and I feel not so overwhelmed because there aren't so many kids, so that's a plus for me. The one-on-one time, I get to explore more and just have more information taught to me so I can actually understand it. I think that's really good for me, so I will be coming back.
They're like a family. The kids are automatically like a family. It's taken the past 4 weeks, but when we work together, it's not this feeling of anxiousness or worry. The kids are automatically comfortable with the educational process because each one of them know each other and each one of them know each other's strengths, and as a teacher you just keep pushing those strengths so they build each other up. So you have 15 kids, each one's building each other up one after the other, and it always remains a positive environment once they feel like they're family.
School officials hope that many of the 53 8th graders currently enrolled at Patriot Charter, a sister school, will attend the charter high school next year. Though students would probably like riding to school in a golf cart as opposed to walking, the sentiment is quite different among regulars at Melbourne's Mallard's Landing and Crane Creek Reserve golf courses. There, fans of walking the links are upset about a city golf advisory board decision that prohibits walking for most of the morning during the busier winter months. As with so many things these days, it's all about the economy.
A new rule imposed by the City of Melbourne has golfers teed off about more than just their games. Passed in May, the rule requires golfers playing at the city's 2 municipal courses, Mallard's Landing and Crane Creek Reserve, to pay for and take a cart each weekday until 11 a.m. from December 1st until March 31st. Officials believe this will help stave off declining revenues caused by the sluggish economy. Some golfers, however, say this will deter them from playing at these 2 courses because they like to walk. Some have even said they would pay not to use the cart.
I'm the president of the Wednesday Men's League, so I'm going to continue to play in that league, which means I have to ride, but I won't be playing the other 3 days. I usually play Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so now I'll be playing on Wednesday, but not on Monday, Thursday, and Friday during that season.
The county already has 2 golf courses with a similar cart rule, the Habitat in Grant Belcaria and the Savannahs in Merritt Island. The county will be expanding the rule to include Spessard Holland in Melbourne Beach. Golfers can get around the cart rule at Melbourne's courses if they come out really early. But for most, like Jim McDonald, it's just not practical.
If you want to play 9 holes, you can play before 7:30 in the morning. They'll let you play 9. But I'm in with a group like here. We have probably 20 guys playing today. We're all in the league. And half of them ride, half of them walk. So if the walkers have to go in the afternoon, that breaks up the whole league. It's not good.
Revenues at the Melbourne courses are down $138,000, or about 6% compared to the previous fiscal year. You've seen the subject of our next story on area golf courses, but not with clubs in their hands. Bugs, more likely. I'm speaking of those ubiquitous lizards that are a part of life in Florida. While they have benefits, such as eating those aforementioned bugs, they also could have a damaging effect on our food web.
If you've been outdoors in Florida, you've most likely seen the brown anole. Roughly 5 to 8 inches, the brown anole is the most common lizard in the Sunshine State. But what many don't realize is this little reptile isn't native to Florida. Its ancestors are believed to have hopped aboard cargo ships and sailed over from Cuba to Key West around 1887. Since then, the brown anole has spread rapidly throughout the state and have pushed out the native green anole. Green anole numbers have diminished, while the brown anole and 42 other non-native lizards have thrived under the heated conditions and lush growth that Florida offers. Experts say they document 1 or 2 new species of lizard each year. Biologists say the larger brown anoles bully their green counterparts, pushing green anoles higher up in trees, where brown ones can't pester them and people can't see them. Brown anoles are believed to be the most abundant land vertebrae in Florida and may number in the hundreds of billions. They also help with pest control, eating mosquitoes, ants, spiders, roaches, and beetles. But because of this, ecologists believe a shift in the ecological balance between bugs and plants is taking place. But while the brown anole is considered a pesky species, other non-native lizards may be worse. For example, the green iguana can grow up to 5 feet and munches native shrubs, trees, landscaping, and defecates on boat decks and swimming pool decks. Monitor lizards are large, reaching 6 feet, and have smarts. They have spread quickly and can eat outdoor pets like cats and small dogs. These were introduced into the population when pet owners let them go because they became too big or too hard to handle. The northern curly-tail lizard is another popular pet that was released intentionally in Palm Beach in the 1940s to rid sugarcane of insects. It did not work. The lizard first appeared in Cocoa Beach in 1991 and continues to expand in Florida. Birds and winter cold snaps keep some invasive lizards in check, and native lizards with a more northern range, such as the green anole, can stand their ground against their more tropical adversaries, at least in the northernmost stretches of their range. Controlling non-native lizards is nearly impossible. Introducing chemicals or predators to drive down the brown anole population is considered far too risky. So the little brown reptiles are here to stay, and that is bad news for the native green anole.
Heat is ideal for a lizard, but not always the best thing for a soldier. That's where Captain Jeff Peppers of Cocoa Beach comes in. The military chaplain is a very popular man in Iraq, where he passes out freezer pops to sweltering troops. Here's his story.
A lot of people asked how they could help the soldiers. What could we do to support the troops? And when we were down in Kuwait, it was blistering hot down there. And one of the chaplains down there gave popsicles to his soldiers. And I thought, that's it. So I put it up on my Facebook. If you want to support the troops, send popsicles. And one of my friends seized that and started the Popsicle Patrol group and started sending popsicles, and pretty soon it became quite a thing. Oh, the soldiers loved the popsicles. I knew that they would appreciate having a popsicle. What I didn't realize was how much they would appreciate it. And you can imagine, they're out there working in 110-degree heat, doing maintenance on your vehicle, or working on a construction project, or working in a cargo container. you know, it's just, the soldiers really enjoy those popsicles, and they always say, make sure to say thank you. We want them to know that we appreciate this, and so they're very appreciative of the people that send popsicles to them. They hear my little gator come up. You know, I drive around in this little ATV, little gator, and you know, I come up there, and they always wonder if the chappie's bringing them popsicles, and of course they come out and they kind of look forward to that. I imagine it's kind of like hearing the ice cream man come up when you're a kid. Because I know a lot of them do talk about the memories that the popsicles bring back. They say, you know, this is just like when I was a kid. So, do not send fudge-sicles or popsicles or push-ups or anything like that. But it's interesting. I had some mail, and one of the soldiers said, hey, sir, you've got a couple packages. I said, good. I was expecting some popsicles. You think it's about the right size for a popsicle? He says, no, they weren't cold. So,
if you would like to donate freezer pops for the soldiers, you may take them to the Brevard Veterans Council at 400 South Sykes Creek Parkway in Merritt Island, or call 321-453-1776 for more information. And finally, a look at the struggles and successes of local daycare facilities operating in this economy. While some have closed as more parents look to cut costs, others are faring well by working more closely than ever with their clients.
We're going to do our lowercase letters now, okay? Go ahead, same thing. You're going to start with the letter A, okay?
We are here at Wellington Academy. We've been in business for 22 years. I'm Tammy Geist. I'm a director here at Wellington, and I started out here as a teacher and worked my way into a directorship. The economy has affected us in the way that we have actually given out some free registration, lowered our rates so that they're a little more economical with the times. We've also made just some changes in our staffing and the hours that our staff works, and we have seen some parents be laid off and then returning after they've found other employment. We have 17 on staff and about 98 children currently. We take from 6 weeks up to 12 or 13 months, and through our infant program, and then up through the VPK program, which is part of the No Child Left Behind policy.
To help struggling parents, some facilities have taken to providing free transportation and even waiving registration fees. That's our show, everyone. I'm Adam Lowenstein. We'll be back next Tuesday, and we hope to see you then. Have a great week.